Morning baggers, it's Wednesday morning. We haven't been doing a daily vlog because we thought that might just bore you to death. So here's a bit of a summary of the first 2 days. Monday, bit of a marriage for you where you drew, wasn't it? I was over on Horse Island, boat trip, you probably see the footage for that. Steve McCaveney won that with 14 kilo at the top end. Where I had 7 kilo 700, had a really good spell, then it died the middle part of the match, and then the last 15 minutes came good, so 7.5 kilos for me. So that's it. Over where Richie was.
Don't really want to talk about it.
He doesn't want to talk about it.
I had 1 kilo 600 for peg 8 at Inish Fava. All the fish around the corner in the high numbers. 13 kilos, 12 kilos and 10 kilos I think. It was rock hard. I had 1 kilo 600, just couldn't get a bite in. After the first half an hour, couldn't get a bite in anything. I had one roach in 4.5 hours. Derek William was the same. He had a kilo 400, two to me right. He just couldn't get a bite. Bloke in between us had 2 bream out of the blue. Other than that, just couldn't do anything about it.
Yesterday, which was Tuesday, we were off to. I was on the rocks, which is where subscribers may remember the video from last year where I caught a load of fish on the pole. It was the same sort of match, but I was in a deeper peg further up to the right on the rocks, peg 8, slightly deeper water, 5 feet of water, and I was about 5 feet off the water as well, sat on the rocks. I just had a day on the pole really, the fish kept coming and going. I managed to catch a better stamp than those around me. I've had 8.5 kilo, loads of fish, I don't know how many fish, 70 fish, 80 fish, but they were a nice stamp, a lot of them. So Richie was over on
Horton's where we fished on the Sunday Open. It fished us slightly better yesterday. I drew peg 5, started on the window feeder, which I've never done before, and I'm not really confident on them feeders. Steve Fleming next to me started on the cage feeder, and he had 6 hybrids before I'd even had a bite. So I swapped to a cage feeder, and within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, started catching hybrids. We had a real good hour and a half, me and Steve, and then it suddenly started dying for everybody. Kept feeding balls of ground bait with castor and a few worms on the pole line at 11 metres, so it was about 11 foot deep there. Couldn't get any bites, but I noticed on peg 8, I think it was 8 or 9, AD Whittle, peg 9 I think, AD Whittle was loose feeding this pole line, he was catching. So I got off my box with an hour and a half to go, started loose feeding castor, went on it with an hour to go, and started catching, and I've probably had 3 kilos in the last hour on the pole, which has got me from nowhere to doing well in the section with 7 kilos, 600. AD won the section with 9 kilo.
Cumulative, we actually came away with a really steady weight, to be fair, for the sections that we've been to. So now, that's put us on a total of 25 kilo 400 after 2 days, which I know is not mega, but just to give you an idea about how hard it's fishing, we've got 25 kilo 400. We're only 13 kilos off 10th place, so that just shows how hard it is actually fishing. And on paper, we've actually got potentially 3 more sections that could throw up weights to come yet. We're not even halfway yet. We're on the road to Enniskillen now. We are off to today McDonald's first. We know that won't let us down, we know that. Killardees or Greenies Shore today. Not mega weights there yesterday. 21 kilos, 1 Killardees. That was on the new peg 1A, which I think we'd settle for.
Yeah, the problem is with Killardees, there's only 3 pegs you want. Anywhere else you're at it, you're struggling to make 4 or 5 kilos.
Yeah, Mick Biles was there yesterday. He had 15 kilo on the jetty at Killardees. You know, that's the area you really want to draw if you're going to go to Killardees, but there were also 1 and 2 kilo weights in that same section further up, so we want to avoid those areas if we're going there. Greenies was pretty steady, wasn't it? 15 kilo 1 Greenies I think yesterday, but
I think nearly everybody had 8 kilos or more Greenies yesterday.
Yeah, there weren't any mega weights, but there were a few kind of 8 kilo weights and above, so that sounds like it's pretty steady, unless obviously it's going to switch on, which would be really nice if we're going there. So that's it. So we're going to McDonald's now. The team plan is to try and be the first in the draw bag, so if there are any flyers, they're all going to be still in there when... Am I drawing again? You've got me on drawing duties. I haven't exactly excelled, but on Richard's
past 5 years,
nothing to lose, have we? So yeah, it's McDonald's wrap time. peg 10, killer D's. I'll show you the kit. The wind is going to be probably rubbish on the speaker, but I'm leaving it on so you can get an idea of how windy it is. It's just dropped. It was horrendous. I've just had to walk down to have a look at the pegs on the jetty. Down there, I think we've got Dean Barlow on peg 1. We've got Mark Pollard on peg 2. Peg 3 is Martin Green. That's where the weights have been, and obviously the cracking anglers them, so anything, God knows what weights they're going to throw up today. But I've just had to walk down there, said hello to them lads, but the wind's died down a little bit, so it's nowhere near as bad as it was. I actually got the pole out, couldn't even hold it. It's only about that deep, so I've kind of put it away. I'm just going to concentrate on a feeder. I've got a short line in, just show you the kit. I'm sat out in the water that you can see. I have got a new 4 metre XDX class, or the Horizon. A lot of you know it as the old Horizon. Got that 6,000 reel. That's because when I set that up, the wind was horrendous, and that was really the only rod that I could really use for that. The forecast is it's going to get bad again, and as you can see, there's going to be rain and stuff coming all day long by the looks of it, just like it has done every day. I've also got a 12 foot 3.6 metre S-class setup. That's going to be clipped up on the same line as that. It's just that's got a little bit more kind of finesse on it. It's got a 5,000 reel with submerged braid as usual, same on the 6,000 reel. But I've also got a Legend setup. That's on a 4,000 reel, 3.3 metre, 11 foot. I've got that clipped up at 20 metres. I know Richie fished here the last day of last year's competition, and he caught a lot of fish at about 20 to 25 metres small roach when nothing else had feed, and I think he may have been second in his section with about 8 kilo. I've got that set up. I mean, the wind's hitting it. It's not very deep out there, but if those fish are going to come shallow, or come into that shallow water closer in, that's an option I've got. And while I'm fishing the longer line, I'm going to be putting little balls of ground bait just on that 20 metre line. Just keep it ticking over, and if I have got to go on it, or I can have a look on it later on in the match. But hopefully I'm hoping that some of those bigger hybrids are going to show on that longer line. I've got it clipped up at 45 metres. That really was a comfortable range when the wind was really bad. It's different now, but I mean, I've got to make a decision, and 45 metres is it. I've got a count of about 9 seconds, so it's quite a bit of water out there, and it just keeps going after that. So I'm going to go 45 metres, and obviously I can keep my eye on what's happening around me. Next peg I've got Simon, and then I'm not sure who the next guy is, and then the one after that is Lee Kerry. I've just had a chat with Lee. He's not put a pole up either. He's just going to fish a feeder, probably one rod. That's what he's hoping to do. So yeah, we've got about 20 minutes before the off, so I'm just going to chop a few worms. Mix wise, I've got the same that I've used all week, which is the Pro Natural Dark and the Pro Natural Bream. I've got some chopped worm, 4 pints of casters, pints of maggots. I'm going to kick off on that 45 metre line and just see what happens, see what kind of reaction we get.
Laying in your bed, fighting ghosts in my head. Wish that I could let you go. Remember all we had. How could we get this bad? Where did we lose our glow? You live, you learn. When your heart is set to burn, fading away until the light will return. Someone bring me back to the time when our hearts unite.
ended up with 12 kilo 500. Looks like Mark's going to win this. Mark Pollard, 16 kilo. I could have easily got that today. I've had 2 hours with that fish. I just don't know how A, I could have kept him in the peg for longer, and B, I don't really know how I could have found some fish within that period. I mean, even if some of those hybrids, you know, the kilo fish, and even if you only get one every half hour, I don't know why I just can't keep him in the peg, but I would have taken that weight at the start, so just hope Richie's caught a few.
Bring me back to the time when our hearts aligned.